Good morning, guys. It's Monday morning for us, so welcome back to the mill. When we started off today, we got these kind of rough looking white pine logs. As you can see, there'll be a little waste around the bark here. Customers want to do 1x6s, 3-board high on a fence, and he kind of priced out the material and then thought better of it and went back to his property and found a couple of dead trees and brought them out. We started on this Saturday. I apologize, I didn't get an intro video. We were just busy as all get out on Saturday, which is unusual. I try not to do that, but on Saturday we had a job we was trying to finish up for a customer. I promised it that we'd have it done. Now, he actually wasn't able to come and get it. He had things happen, but that's irrelevant. I told him I'd have it done, so we made the extra effort and we had it done. It's sitting over here in the barn, waiting on him to come by today and pick it up. I also had a family friend. I got some of his wood sitting over here that you'll see this week. He wanted to come by and just work. So he come by and spent half a day with us just working. I enjoyed it and hadn't seen him for years. He's a military man, so he's kind of in and out a good bit, but we enjoyed the opportunity to catch up with him. Also, one of my good customers he has a customer that's also a customer of mine. I've done some work for him in the past, but the homeowner is kind of making up their decision on what they want to do for hardwood flooring, and this gentleman's going to actually make it. He's going to take the rough sawmill lumber that's been kiln dried and plane it, 4-side square it, and turn it into whatever the customer wants. 6, 8, 10-inch wide, 8-foot long boards, and they were really wanting to do cherry, but neither one had ever seen it up close. And I had some of his wood laying here that I was going to saw, so I invited him over, and we threw the cherry log on there, and I sawed 2 or 3, 4 passes off of it, got down into the kind of the heart of it, and let them see it firsthand. Actually give them a piece to take home with them, let it dry a little bit. Where the cherry, when it comes out, it's a little bland, but as it dries, the color will come up in it, and it's even more beautiful. But we spent some time with them doing that. We didn't make any money. I knew we wasn't gonna make any money, but it's helping out a friend, and it's also helping out a customer. And that's things you do, you know. You network and you help other people out. And like I say, we got started on doing some of this. Usually on Saturday evening we have things to do around here, kind of family oriented. But my grandson had a football game, so everybody was gone. Actually, I'd forgot about it, or I'd went. But we're going this weekend. He's got a home game. I might even video it just for the fun of it, you know. But I got started sawing on these. I worked till, I don't know, 7 o'clock or so. Just nothing better to do, so might as well saw some. But we're gonna get started this morning. I'll walk over here, show you what we got. It's beautiful stuff. Yeah, it's a shame it's gonna be on a fence, but hey, it'll look beautiful hanging out there on the fence. All we got is a stack of 1x6s, 8-foot long, fairly knot free. You know, there's some knots here or there, but it'd be some pretty stuff. The most important thing for the customer is longevity. They want a product that they can put on their fence. I think he told me the other day they had 260 fence posts to put in, and they want a product that's cost effective, which this will be because it's their lumber. You know, all they got in it's a sawmill, and they wanted something that have some good longevity, and this white oak will. My bedroom's furniture, the bed itself and the end tables, I made years ago out of old white oak fence boards that my grandfather had took down many years before. So I know they were sawed on a circle mill because they were rough and they were thick, They hung out on a fence line for 40 years. Never had been painted. They just turned, you know, the dark gray, almost black from years of sunshine. And then they replaced the fence, so Grandpa went through with a chainsaw and cut at every post and cut the boards off. So normally a fencing is about 8 foot apart, so these boards ended up being about 7'6", whatever. But I used them to make our bed, and it was just gorgeous. It had instead of a white oak, it was more of an orange color from all the sun baking. So don't be afraid to take some rough looking wood and plane it out and see what you find. I've actually got 400 or 500 feet of it left, and I'm saving it for a family project one day because, you know, it comes from my grandpa Bill, and there'll never be any more of it. So, you know, I told all the family here they can use it, but it's got to be for a family project. You know, we're not going to sell it or give it away to customers, whatever it is. It's for family because it has a story. It has history, and I enjoy telling that story. But we appreciate you tuning in this morning. Thanks for watching our channel, Bearded Lumber. And if you don't know, my name's Eric, and I work with my son every day, Matthew. About time for him to be here. You know, he'll come rolling in here any second. But we appreciate you watching, and we're going to get to it. We'll see you at the mill. Thanks, guys. Okay guys, I know on our videos y'all seem to really like the explanation of blades. We're getting ready to start. I just took off a WoodMizer 4-degree blade. I got all the goodie out of it Saturday, so we're going to start out with another resharp 4-degree. You can put these on by yourself. It's best to do it from this side of the mill where I can reach over, but it can easily be done. Just set it in. What you want to do is get it on the this is called the driven side because it actually drives right off the motor. Or excuse me, this is the drive side because it drives right off the motor. This pulley over here is the driven one because it gets driven by that one. What we do, we get it set on there, and then we'll come over to this side and we'll just gently slide it up on there. What I'm doing, it needs to be almost flat with the back of the pulley. I've got my fingers back there setting how far back it is. And this one, the same way, there's a groove back there, and I'm trying to set it pretty close to where it's going to end up running. We'll go ahead and snap tension on it. Okay. If you've watched any of my videos, you know we don't run any blade that's not been tensioned by our strain gauge. This mill has this little neoprene bushing right here. It's supposed to help you adjust your tension here, but I find it less than reliable. So we use a high performance strain gauge that gets us right exactly where we want to be. Okay, get it out of the box here if it'll focus. This is a Sterling brand strain gauge. As you can see, it has a fixed side and this side is movable. And when we get it attached, I'll preload this just a little bit, then we'll retension it. And we're shooting for about 16,000 PSI is where we want to be at. So we'll attach the fixed side, loosen the tension, preload the gauge just a little bit, set it back to 0, and I'll retension. And see, that blade is a little soft. It's only about 14,000 psi. But if I look at my gauge here, you know, it says it's okay, but I know it's too loose. So we're gonna put a little tension on it, like almost 15. Make sure the gauge is set. Back off just a little bit. There we go. Let's see if you, I know it's hard to see upside down, but that's just a hair under where I want to be. So I'm gonna raise the tension up on it one more time. Make sure it goes to 0. Yeah, so the gauge moved just a little bit. I want just a little bit more. There we go. I know that can seem a little fiddly, but this is the most important thing you do before you start sawing, is verifying the blade tension. The reason being, everything else down the line depends on this being set right. So if I start in this cut and something's not acting right, I know it's not the tension on the blade. Now, it may still be the blade. It may have a tooth knocked out of set, you know, it could be dull, you know, I got it out of the wrong pack or whatever, but it just helps me know when I start sawing, this part is right. So get to doing it, and you won't regret it. I tell you, I know it's a little bit of a time thing, but I just, since I've started doing it, I won't do it any other way. It just helps me. But thanks, guys. One other thing before we start, if you've watched the saw, you know, there's all kinds of different wood. You know, around here we do forest pine, Virginia pine, white pine. You know, we do oak, red oak, white oak, chestnut oak, pin oak, poplar, sweet gum, maple, cherry, and every wood saws differently, okay? And on top of that, every wood saws differently based on where it's at in its drying cycle. Now, green oak, to me, actually saws better than green white pine, because it's consistently hard all the way through. Where a white pine, the wood itself will be soft, but you'll hit those big old knots and they'll be hard as this concrete floor. They'll be harder than oak. But this wood, as you've seen earlier when we were sitting on it out there, this wood's been down a while. It's dead, it's dry. I mean, the powder, the sawdust, let's see if I can find some right here. Here's the sawdust I got off of it Saturday. It is just powder. It's like you're sanding with it. So this wood is way into its drying cycle. So its hardness factor has went way up. I will be cutting this extremely slow. And if I hit knots, I'll still have to fight the knots, because the knots get real hard when they get dry. So you'll see the sawing be a little different on this, just because of how dry these oak logs are. It's not impossible. It's not any harder. It's just slower. So we'll take our time and go through them. Hang on, and we'll get a log up on the mill and get sawing. ugly log, but we'll make some pretty boards. Let's get it done. Matthew just said the same thing I did. That's too pretty to put on a fence, but customer's always right. They own a lot of acreage. They got a lot of beautiful wood timber, so why not use it on a fence? It'll make a gorgeous fence. Okay, guys, what I got here is the flitches. I did those, most of those Saturday. We're gonna run those through our WoodMizer EG100 Edger. Make nice 1x6s out of them, put them on the pile, and this stack will be finished. It'll be big enough. We'll go ahead and band it up and get it out of the way, and we'll start another one. So hang on, we're gonna run these through here. Okay guys, we're back. Sorry about that. I had a bunch of people drive through. It's Monday morning, got a lot of things going on. We finished up that log, finished up this stack, went ahead and I put a sticker on it for him. That stack ended up being 456 board feet of good 1x6 white oak. It'd be great for him for fencing. So Matthew's gonna get it set out in the yard to get it out of our way, and we'll get on the next log. We'll be right back. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for this log. That's a pretty good sized log, but it did have a lot of surface rot from where it'd been dead and laying out in the woods. But we still netted 46 boards for a total of 184 board feet. And those two logs together made, what was that, 344 board feet? That's not bad. I mean, it's beautiful stuff. I say it's a shame that they're using it on the fence, but that's what they cut it for, so it's a good use. But if you can see the grain, it is gorgeous. So that's gonna do it for a little bit. We need to take a break. It's hot, and we'll see you back at the mill. Okay guys, we're done with all the white oak now. This last stack had 139 boards, worked out 556 board feet. The total was 1,012 board feet. He needed over 240 boards, so he got 253 total, so that worked out good. We appreciate you watching. If you would, take the opportunity to like, subscribe, and share. You can send Vader a gift card. He's pitiful. He's laying here on the floor asleep. Matthew will show you a picture of it. He's living the sawmill life. But we appreciate you watching. If you would, like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time back at the mill. That's why you always check, people. Something's come loose. We're gonna have to readjust it and tighten it. But the only way you can do that is get this log back off the mill and set your mill back up, because it either needs to be down there or up there. And that's a huge difference. It's gonna really affect how this mill cuts. So we're gonna have to back up punt here. We're gonna roll this log off and put a new blade on there and try to see where our set's at. So